Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Meditya Wasesa, and today we are going to talk about two sample tests, yeah, using t-test, yeah. The previous series of video, we've discussed about one sample test. So we discussed about hypothesis statement, hypothesis testing using one population and one sample. But in this series of video, we are going to discuss about hypothesis statement, hypothesis testing, and how to construct confidence interval for a claim concerning two different populations. Okay, without further ado, let's go firstly discuss about the fundamental philosophy of hypothesis and hypothesis testing. Yeah, recall. So before that, I want to refresh your mind concerning hypothesis statement in one sample test context. Yeah. First, let's discuss about the definition of hypothesis. Yeah, hypothesis is a claim about a particular parameter of populations. Let's say that we have a population of a country, and then let's say that the minister of economy state that the average income, yeah, of the country of the citizens of the country equals to 1,000 US dollar. Yeah, so the claim could be concerning the mean and the proportion, and some, yeah, mostly are concerning the mean of the proportion. But for this case, let's say that the minister of economy state that the average income of this country citizens equals to 1,000 US dollar. Yeah, that is one direction statement. Yeah, unproven because we haven't really verified whether the claim is true or not, and that is exactly what a hypothesis is. Yeah, because it's untested. Yeah, it needs to be tested and verified in order to see whether the claim is true or not. So let's say that the hypothesis is okay. This country's average income, yeah, of the citizens is equals to 1,000 US dollar. But a hypothesis statement can also be directional, such as okay, the average income of the the citizens' income is larger than 1,000 US dollar or even lower. So it can be equal to, larger than, or smaller than. Yeah, it can be directional. And then what is hypothesis test? Yeah, hypothesis test is a procedure to evaluate whether the claimed statement, yeah, if a population parameter, the claimed statement about the population parameter is indeed close to the hypothesis value of the sample statistics. What does it mean? Yeah. So in previous example, we used a suppose example, a statement from the minister that state that okay, this country's citizens income in average is equal to 1,000 US dollar. And then how we verified the claim? Yeah, usually we took several respondents, yeah, one respondents, and then ask, okay, sir, how much your income is? And then we write, okay, maybe 1,500 US dollar. And then the second respondent, how much your income is, Mrs. Okay, 800 US dollar, and then we write it, and so on. Yeah, and then we pick several respondents as a sample. Yeah, and then have by having a detailed record, okay, on the respondents, we can calculate the mean or the average income of the respondents, and also the standard deviation, and then test whether the claimed statement or the hypothesis value, hypothesized value, is close to the findings that we observe from the respondents from the samples. If it's close, if it's near, then yeah, in principle, we can state, okay, the claim is correct. The claim is verified. But if the claimed hypothesis, yeah, and then the findings from the respondents are, have too much discrepancies, then we can infer that, yeah, the claimed hypothesis is false, or the hypothesis is rejected. So that's the basic principle. Now we are going to move on the real deal. Yeah, how about the hypothesis statement in two sample test contexts? What is the difference? Okay, previously we talk about one specific populations. Yeah, for example, country A only, and then there is a statement concerning that specific one country. But in two sample contexts, of course, we talk about two different populations. And the claim, the hypothesis claims, is also referred to different populations. For example, we have population 1 from country A, and then we have population 2 from country B. And then, yeah, each of the uh, populations have specific parameter like mean, standard deviations, yeah, or proportion, and country B also have its parameter, yeah, like mean, proportion, so on. And what is the form of the hypothesis statement then for these two hypotheses? Yeah, it's simply like, for example, okay, the statement is that, okay, as the Ministry of Economic Affairs of country A state that the average income of our country, of our country citizens, is equal to the average income of the peoples of country B. So yeah, the statement could be, yes, the average income of country A equals to country B, or the claim could also be the average income of country A is greater than or lower than country B. Yeah. So the claim itself now is concerning two different populations. That's why we call it two sample test. Why? Because of course, to verify whether the claim is right or not, then we interview several respondents from country A, and then we write down the data. Okay, the income of respondent number 1 of country A is $800 US, the second respondent $700 US, the third one 150, and then we make a sample statistics out of it, yeah, for country A. And we also do the same similar procedure for country B, right? So we also pick several respondents as a sample, and then we write down the data. Okay, citizens number 1 for country B, the income is $1,000 US. The second respondent is $500 US, and so on. And then we have the statistics, and then we try to compare, yeah, the sample statistics, yeah, or the findings from sample country A with country B. Yeah. So let's go on with an example, right? Okay, for two sample tests, let's say the claim is, mu1 equal mu2, yeah, or the average. Let's say that the average income of country A equals to country 2, or in other words, yeah, this is the null hypothesis statement. Yeah, in other words, we can say also that the difference income between country 1 and country 2, mu1 minus mu2 equals to 0. Yeah, so this is the claim, yeah, or the null hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis, of course, the opposite, which states that no, the average income of country A, of the average citizen income of country A is not equal to the average income of citizens in country B. Yeah, so and then what do we do? Yes, so in principle, we like I said before, yeah, we pick several samples from country A, yeah, respondent A, respondent A, B, C, D from country A, and then we write down the data, the income value of each respondent, and then we pick the sample statistic, yeah, the mean, the standard deviations for country A, and then we also do the similar approach for country B. Yeah, we pick part respondent from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we write down the income, and then we calculate the statistics out of country B, and then we have the mean value, the average value of income. I mean, country A, and then we have the average income of country B with standard deviation, and then we compare whether, yeah, the average income in country A and country B, the difference of it, yeah, is equal to or close to 0. Yeah, and then with specific calculations, yeah, we can construct the region of, and then there's a specific band, yeah, which indicates the lower critical value and the upper critical value. And then if the difference is still within the regions of rejections, is within the lower critical value and then upper critical value, then, yeah, if the difference is close to 0 and still inside the region of non-rejection, then you do not reject the null hypothesis. Yeah, or you can say that the government's claim is indeed right. But if the sample statistics of a population 1 and 2, and then you make differences, yeah, and then you found out that the difference between the two are indeed very large, yeah, either in a positive direction or lower directions. But in principle, the value of the value of the value of average value of the sample in country A and the average value of in country B is the difference is pretty much large, and it falls within the region of rejection. Then you reject the claim, yeah, or you can say, oh no, the claim is pretty much false, because in our finding, based on our respondents, our data, we have calculated the statistics, and then we compare it using the t-statistics critical value approach, and we found that, you know, the difference between the two are pretty much is very large. It's not within the region of rejection band. That's why we reject your claim, or we reject the null hypothesis. Yeah, I think, yeah, so this is example for two-tailed test. Yeah, you can delve to my previous video for more detail on this type. But I think that's the fundamental philosophy of hypothesis and hypothesis testing. Yeah. So if the claimed value, yeah, the claimed or the hypothesis value is near to the samples calculations, yeah, it's near that, and it lies on the regions of non-rejections, then you accept, or you cannot reject the null hypothesis. But if the value of the claimed hypothesis statement and the result of the samples statistics calculations is far away and it lies within the region of rejection, then you reject the null hypothesis, or you reject the claim. Okay, I think that's it for the first sections, the philosophy. We will go on to the next video. See you on the next sections of video. Bye.